In this video, I'll show you how to install Radiant on a Mac. So first thing we need to determine is that you have a profile or username or login that has only ASCII characters. So no special symbols, Chinese characters, Korean characters, anything like that. Just A through Z and maybe some numbers. All right. Okay, if you have that, then you can just go ahead and click on this link. And by the way, we're on the install page. And if you click that link, it'll take you directly to the download page for R. And at the time of this video, the latest version is R 3.3.1. So if you just click on that link, it'll start a download. I actually already have this on my desktop, so I'll just go directly there. And I don't have to do anything in particular here. Just click continue, agree, accept all the defaults, install it for all users on this computer. And then it'll ask me for my password. Okay, so this will take a couple seconds, and then it'll be done installing. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up R. Okay, so there's R. All right, and it started up. Okay, now there's a number of extra steps. I'm just going to go ahead and close this. But there's actually a shortcut to all those steps, and particularly I'm just going to copy and paste this source command into R. Okay, so just paste it in and press enter. All right, so this is going to go ahead and install R and a bunch of other things. It might take a couple seconds on your system, so I'm just going to pause the video until that's all done. So depending on your internet connection speed, this might take a few minutes. It's quite a few packages that it needs to install. And then you're going to see it's going to start to download RStudio. So R is the programming language, then RStudio is the front end we'll use to start up Radiant. Okay, and we'll explain later on more how these different components are connected. All right, so I'm just going to pause until that download is done, and then I'll walk you through the install process. Okay, so it's finished downloading RStudio. So all I should have to do is just drag RStudio into the applications folder. Now I already happen to have a version of RStudio installed, but for you it should just go straight into it. And so it's just moving that over there, and that should only take a few seconds. Okay, so we'll just wait until that's done. All right, so now RStudio is installed. And now the last thing it's going to ask you for is if you want to generate PDF reports in Radiant, which I recommend that you do, then we'll need to install this thing called MacTeX. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. It'll all happen automatically behind the scenes. But make sure you have a fast internet connection when you're doing this. Don't try to do it at an airport or anything like that. But just press yes and then return, and it'll start this final phase of the install process. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video until that's done, and then we'll finish up the install. Okay, let's finish the last parts of the install process, and we just accept the defaults and go ahead and install. All right, hit my password. Okay, again, this will take a few minutes, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, and so the last step then is we've got everything installed. Now we're going to open up RStudio, so we can actually close R. So we're not going to need that, at least not directly. And so let's open up RStudio. And what you'll notice if you click on the add-ins menu at the top here, you can click Radiant. Now, by the way, what might be a good idea for you is if you drag RStudio here to the launcher menu. All right, whoops, okay. So if you click on add-ins and then on Radiant, take a second, and then here we go. Here's Radiant installed and running on your computer. So if you see this page with diamonds data as shown, then you are done with your install. Okay,